welcome to Rugby League Outlaws interview edition. Look, this is something new we're going to introduce, hopefully as an ongoing thing. To kick this off, we needed a superstar, and we've got one. The Paralympic legend himself, a guy that I watch swim more times than I care to admit, the great Matthew Levy. Mate, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be on the show.
First question, how's quarantine treating you?
Yeah, it's okay. So I'm about 7 days in as of tomorrow. Food's okay. I'm at in Sydney, so it's not too bad. I was in quarantine in April. We're just in a normal hotel room, whereas this is a bit of a studio apartment, which is good. But yeah, it is what it is. It's no one really likes it, but yeah, it's just something you have to kind of deal with.
That's fantastic. That's one thing I didn't think of with all the highs and the lows. That was your 5th Paralympic Games you went to, which is incredible. The first one, that would have been the strangest one, surely, with the way it was. How was it competing in front of no fans, so to speak?
Yeah, it didn't feel like any different. We had like a lot of athletes and staff and that kind of stuff in the crowd, so that was no problem. It was just, I guess, getting used to wearing masks and getting used to not going to a dining hall, getting used to, I guess, social distancing and all that kind of stuff that comes with COVID. And also every day we had to do a COVID test. So we had a lot of intricate bits and pieces that we'd never usually have before involved in trying to compete. So it wasn't just, I guess, rocking up and competing for your country. It was doing a bit of this, doing a bit of that, and then competing. So yeah, I think that was the hardest part, just kind of getting used to all the process and procedures that were in place to keep us safe. But there's just other extra layer of complexity to competition.
Did you say you got tested every day?
Yeah, so we had to do a saliva test every day, which is it doesn't take too long. It takes about 20 or so seconds to produce enough saliva to for them to test, and then you go down the stairs and put it in like a cooler box, and then they send it off to get tested at a special facility in the village. So every day you have to do that, and then take your temperature to make sure you're under 37.5 degrees Celsius, and then and that was pretty much it. But it's kind of tough to remember when you're wanting to compete and you have to get ready and eat breakfast and get on a bus and all that kind of stuff. So it's really about being organized the night before and getting everything ready and just being having good time management, I guess.
That's so crazy. Breaks up the routine. One thing I've always wondered with sports, all sports, do the relay medals mean more? Like the way you guys celebrated that 4x100 win, that was incredible. That was my highlight. That and Dylan Alcott's gold were my highlights for the entire 2 weeks.
It definitely means, for me, I guess it means a lot more just because you're part of a team. You're doing it not just for yourself, not just for your country, but for your other 3 teammates in the pool with you. And I think it means just that extra bit more special when you're competing with 3 other teammates and you're trying to get that medal at the end of the day. And like the individual races are pretty awesome. You're doing it for yourself and for your country, but the relays are definitely the pick of competing, and you just can't let anyone down. I guess it's that kind of mentality. I guess at the end of the day, you try and swim your own race. You do the best you can when you're in the pool, but it's got a little bit more special tinge to it, and a little bit more important when you're competing with your mates and not wanting to let anyone down.
Mate, I love the relays. They're my favourite. So
yeah.
What originally got you into swimming?
So I was born 15 weeks early back in 1987. Had a lot of a couple of disabilities, cerebral palsy, and vision impaired. I guess it was really the start of my swimming was really for health reasons and to a form of therapy, and to really kind of help me move my arms and legs. And in the pool, it was a lot easier to do things, a lot easier to walk, a lot easier to do a lot of things. And that's kind of where it started. And it's still always been a sense of therapy and and opportunity for health and the like. But yeah, it's just, I guess, kind of grew a bit more than that. Probably in Sydney 2000 when I was watching the Paralympic Games and watching, I guess, people with far worse disabilities than myself competing. And I guess that's kind of where I got that goal and that desire to want to do something more than just swim up and down for fitness and for health.
That's cool, man. I feel like this Paralympics was the most viewed because it was so accessible. Like Channel 7 covered it really well and the time difference was perfect. Full disclosure, I hope my bosses don't watch this, but I love being locked up for those 4 weeks of the Olympics and the Paralympics. Mate, I didn't miss barely an event, which is totally embarrassing to admit. It was fantastic. Thank you guys for that. That was so good. Have you got another Paralympics in you?
I think I'll take it year by year. Next year's Commonwealth Games. So it's, I guess, not as big, but it's pretty big on the media exposure front. And yeah, I'll definitely be swimming next year. But yeah, who knows about the years preceding that. I guess you have to kind of call time at some point. And Paris, I'll be 37. So yeah, it's getting on in it's getting on in years in terms of sport though. So yeah, we'll see. Just take it year by year as long as you're enjoying it and having fun. But yeah, you don't want to be that person that gets tapped on the shoulder and say, sorry, you didn't make it this year because you're too slow.
Yeah, no, fair call. Where do you keep your medals? You got a fair few of them.
One of them's here, or two of them. But mostly in a box in my drawer. This one's the bronze.
That's so cool. I would wear them all the time, like all the time.
And this one's the gold.
That's very pretty, mate. That's fantastic.
Very pretty. Yeah, so mostly I guess I kind of look at them and show them off in yeah, I guess it's mainly sits in a box at home in a drawer.
That's so cool, mate. Your book, Keeping Your Head Above Water. No spoilers because I've just ordered it. What's a brief overview?
Cool. Yeah, so it's basically I guess my template for success essentially, and it kind of puts I guess my 7 key pillars of success into, I guess, a simple and easy way to understand both from a sporting perspective and from a life perspective, and gives some pretty good helpful tips to those who read it to kind of for their own kind of version to live their own, I guess, lives the way they want to live, basically.
That's cool, mate. I love that.
Did you order it on Amazon?
I went to your website and just clicked the order now, so it's almost
so you might be you might be waiting about a week and a half because just ordered a bunch of I've run out of hard copies, so I had to reorder.
Oh, that's cool, mate. Well, I'll be coming across for a autograph soon, so watch out for me.
I can sign the book. Don't worry.
Oh, fantastic! Even better. Big question: you a rugby league fan?
Yeah. I follow the Roosters.
Oh no, that'll do me. So, did you guys have any spare time in the village to watch the footy, or just another world?
Yeah, just another world. I think. There was. I think they did watch maybe one of the games, one of the days. But yeah, during the village it was all Paralympic stuff.
That makes sense. Kat wanted me to ask, and I have to give her a shout out. Thanks so much for facilitating this. What's your favourite event outside of swimming?
As in sport or
sport? Anything? Olympics, Paralympics, any sport?
I like rugby union. Wallabies did well on the weekend or yesterday. I guess I like any sport really. Like I don't think there's like one thing that I can kind of think of that stands out. But yeah, anything that's on, whether it's league, whether it's union. Yeah, I just like watching any kind of sport.
Even AFL?
I don't understand AFL, but I do watch it from time to time if there's nothing else on.
we love cracking AFL, mate. It's one of my hobbies. Hey, you're an ambassador for multiple organisations. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so I guess the organisations that I'm an ambassador for, I guess, are close to my heart. Yeah, it's just really good to give back to the community and really kind of help people understand, I guess, that yeah, it's not easy sometimes. And one of the organizations I'm ambassador for is Life Simple Choices, which is raises awareness of premature birth. And yeah, it's like good to give back to organizations like that, because I kind of went through something similar, and maybe my kind of experience can help those that are going through potentially the same or similar.
So cool. Anyone we should be looking out for in 3 years' time? I've got to say, Isis Holt was a real star for me. She came out of nowhere. I mean, that smile lights up a room. It's easy to notice her, but like, there's some superstars in that team, mate.
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell because it's a small runway to Paris. So you might be coming up with the same people as Tokyo, but yeah, there's bound to be some other stars that come up in the next 3 years, and yeah, who knows? But yeah, certainly on the up and up, and I think leading into Brisbane in 2032, there'll certainly be some rising stars coming up in Paris, and then obviously towards the next 8 years to Brisbane.
Absolutely. I actually had that on my list, the Brisbane 3032. How important is that? I mean, you mentioned Sydney 2000 yourself. That was the first Olympics I really watched purely because I could turn on the TV at a good time and it was on. That must mean a lot to the future of multiple sports.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a lot better this time around because you could access it really freely, and obviously everyone was in lockdown. Majority of people were in lockdown, so it made it easy to be able to view. And yeah, the time zone was just perfect. So yeah, Paris might be a bit tricky, and same with LA. But yeah, so I think we had the most probably views we've ever had. Just probably big factor that everyone was in lockdown, and obviously the good time zone as well. So yeah, that definitely played a big part.
Good fun, mate. What's next? Are they giving you some time off work, or is it back to it?
Yeah, I'm working while I'm in quarantine, but not training. So just having a bit of a break from training, and then getting slowly back into it post training, and yeah, and leading up to next year. But yeah, I'm just taking it easy for a couple of months.
Mate, well deserved. The amount of stars that I watched a couple of weeks ago that are off competing in other countries now, it's like,
oh yeah, there's heaps.
Yeah, put your feet up, guys. You deserve a break, mate. Where can we catch you? I follow you on Twitter. I'll put that in the link. Where else can we find you?
So I'm on most of the socials, so Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. I'm probably bigger on LinkedIn than I am on Instagram, but yeah, I guess there's probably main places you can find me, and also my website, www.mattlevyoam.com.au, which you can purchase my book from that website as well, or from Amazon, but mainly from my website because I get the money.
Absolutely. couldn't agree more, mate. Is there anything else, anything exciting happening? Who's your tip for the NRL Grand Final? What's going on?
I don't know. South did well.
They did, yeah.
Well, it's definitely not going to be a Penrith Melbourne Grand Final.
Fantastic.
But I don't know. I reckon Souths and Melbourne potentially. Who do you follow?
I'm a Sharks fan, unfortunately, so we'll talk about next year. But yeah, we have good fun, mate. It makes it.
You got a good coach, though.
We do. We got the best coach. 100% agree.
Well, second best. But.
Second best. There you go. I'm going to cut that out and use that as propaganda for the future. Mate, look, thank you so much for coming on. I could speak all night, honestly, but I just want to say thank you so much. You've enjoyed the break. You've earned your break, mate. Put your feet up. Good luck in quarantine for the next couple of days, for a week. When you get out of there, you're just going to run as far as you can.
Going back to Canberra because going far away from lockdown as possible. Are you're Queensland based or?
No, I'm in Cronulla, so I'm just down the road.
Oh, Cronulla, yeah, lockdown. Okay.
It's peaches across the road and I can't even go, but it's all good. I'm not complaining. Mate, thanks so much again. We'll throw up all the links in the description and stuff. And
no worries.
Pleasure. Thanks so much.
No worries.